Right. Hey, Andy, how's it going today?
Hey Scott, doing great, man. Thank you. I'd be doing better if I had my old pal Jamie Hodge, but yeah, he's out today. And happy Halloween, everybody. It looks like we're a little bit light in here today, and I guess everybody's going trick-or-treating or going to some Halloween parties or whatever. But since Jamie did kind of leave me here on a quick notice today. Boo, David. Yeah, you too. This is going to be a shorter version today. We may go 40 minutes since I'm going solo, and I'm not sure how long my throat can hang it, toughen it out. But anyway, let's dive into it, guys. There'll still be some good stuff to talk about. Let's just dive in, go through the disclaimer first, and then we'll go into some content. All right, I'm going to be talking about some setups today and some charts, but guys, just understand that we are content providers, okay? This is for educational purposes only. We are not trying to sell you anything or get you to buy or sell any equities or bonds or whatever, okay? If you are looking for investment advice, seek out somebody who is qualified, like a registered broker or an advisor or a All right, let's talk a little bit about our support, education, and training here. All right, we have plenty of resources, guys. The Traders Room is first and foremost. That's moderated by Barry. He's a great trader and also a very good speaker, and keeps the room entertained and keeps it tame as well. So if you haven't been in there, it's free for everybody. Make sure you do get in there. Even if you're not a subscriber, you'll get to see the software in action and also get to see some incredible calls by not only Barry, but a lot of great traders in there. And then Monday through Thursday, we do have a webinar all in the same time slot. Okay, this is the 5 Eastern time slot. And it's usually myself, Jamie, or Steve taking those responsibilities paired up in twos. But then on Wednesdays, we do throw Dan Merkin and Brad Williams at you. And guys, there's a lot of talent here, okay? It's just not just people that know the software, but all of us are traded for a very long time. So if you are in here for your first time and you're wondering, well, what are these all about? Well, just be sure to know that it's interactive. You guys can ask questions, and we're all very, very experienced traders, and we know the software very well. So it's a great place to come, not only get education on the software, but also trading as well. And then Friday support session every day at 11 a.m. Guys, we do a scheduled 3-hour Q&A. We just open up a GoToWebinar and let you guys fire away questions, and we answer them and can demonstrate for you using the desktop sharing. So it's a great format, and people really love it. If you haven't been in there and you're available during that time to get in there, I guarantee you're going to learn something. All right, let's talk a little bit about TI University. Okay, this is a 4-part course. Okay, starts on every Monday at 12 Eastern. Beginners 101, Beginners 201s on Tuesday, and you can see it graduates every day until Thursday, all in the same time slot. That's 12 Eastern. And this is full of just great. We basically cover the whole product in a curriculum of about 4 hours, an hour each class. If you cannot make it, I know some people have things to do. They're not available to just full day to trade full time. This is available on our YouTube page. Just go to YouTube, search for Trade-Ideas, and go to our playlist, and you will find TI University. So I noticed that's what a lot of people do. They'll come Monday, will be real crowded, and then everybody learns that it's available on YouTube, so they go to that, which is fine. In the classes you can ask, but hey, I would probably do the same thing. Just try to learn as much as I can, as quick as I can. All right, guys, paper trading is available. We got a big test drive coming up pretty soon here on the 11th. Okay, and everybody's going to be able to come in here for 2 weeks and check out our new paper trader. I'm going to be going over some stuff today. you regulars, bear with me. I know you're familiar with it and you've seen this, but we do have a lot of people coming in here, and I want to show them what the paper trader can do. But for the most part, there's several ways you can trade on this really cool interface. But it's a great way to test your trading skills, your strategies and portfolio management skills right directly on our platform. You do not have to have a connection with any other broker. And you don't need to fund an account. And I can promise you, because I remember when I was getting started, I had to just go fund a big old account and just dive into it. Not very little paper trading too back then. Now you don't have to do that. You can just get a cheap little AI subscription and start firing away paper trades. It's a great little feature, guys, and I know by the people who are hitting me up each day about it that it's going to be a big success. But hey, it's here now. Okay, you are able to use this. We'll obviously be promoting it a lot more sooner once it comes. It's still in beta, but it's working fine. It'll be coming out of beta here soon, and it'll be going like gangbusters. All right, agenda for today. I mentioned it's kind of going to be an abbreviated one today with Halloween. Our attendance down a little bit in here, and Jamie leaving me out here on an island by myself. We're going to go over the market recap. Okay, we're going to talk about, okay, is the market getting tired up here? We'll take a look at some things. Holly recap. A couple of really good trades, and I'm going to spend some time on Holly today because lately there's been some really big, nice percentage trades in there, and got a couple of them today I'm going to talk about. I'm going to revisit. Anytime I revisit an alert, now I may have revisited this already. I can't remember. But anyway, I may have done it last week. I can't remember if I gave it to you last week. But anyway, we're going to talk about it more because I think this could be a really good little alert for you guys to find some opportunity, and I'll share it for those who may be in here for the first time. And then we're going to talk about the paper trader a little bit, guys. But let me back out for now, and we will pull up the spice. Let's take a look at this market recap here. All right. Well, there's a couple ways to look at this. I mean, how I've been complaining over the last year, how we just get to these levels and we just don't have any ump and try to get through. Well, here we are, we're trying it again. Okay, now we're having a hard time moving higher, but at the same time, the last couple of days, okay, we've put in nice tails. In other words, we tried to sell off much like we did right here and like we did over here, but we put in a couple of tails and bounced, and look here, we're not even touching this fast line we like to call the 10-period moving average. Right there, we didn't touch it. Right there, we did not touch it. And once again, it is showing strength by not even being able to come down to the fast line. Plus, we've kind of been out of this high, this fast high now for about 4 days. And so, man, I don't know. I would love to say the coast is clear, but I can't do that only because I'm not seeing any volume. It's just you're not seeing the certain conditions that are indicative of a very strong breakout bull market. That being said, doesn't mean we can't go higher out of this, much like you've seen. Kind of when we went through right here, we had a little bit of, let's put it right up here. Well, we failed right there once again at highs, but then we failed again, finally got through. Maybe we see some action like this and we can get a few percentage points maybe going, for the with this breakout here. But it's hard for me to get excited about it right now because it doesn't mean we can't move higher, but there's just not a lot of volume. Not bad on the spies today, 1.42, but we really didn't go anywhere. You know, it was, makes you wonder, was that downside volume, and it just kind of, you know, popped up there at the end of the day. I mean, it really was the very end of the day when we put in that tail. So time will tell. But for right now, the bears do not have a case. Okay, it's just a matter of if this market is going to get tired again or not. We'll see. Let's see if any of the other indices may be tipping their hand. No, not really there in the Qs. Looks pretty much like the spiders. You know, we're still a couple of tails today, broke out, and still pretty much the same. Now, the last time I checked the Dow, we weren't through all-time highs, and we're still not. Okay, but once again, this carries very little weight for me because it's only 30 stocks, and all it takes is one really bad earnings for one or two of those, and it can prevent the market from actually going to all-time highs. So not one that I look at a whole lot. And now the IWM, and you can see here once again in no man's land, and until we break out of this range, you know, I'm not going to draw it. You can see it down here. We've just been in this funk level for a very long time. So nothing's really going on there. I think if the other markets are going to break out with any sort of enthusiasm at all, you're going to have some cooperation from the Russell 2000. I'm not saying it's impossible. It's just very odd. You know, why would, you know, the Qs? I know the weighting, you know, and the spies and Qs are weighted toward obviously the big, I mean, the real big boys, you know, the Apples, Amazons, and things like that. And Russell 2000 is more of an even weighting. So I guess theoretically, yes, we can, but it would just be strange. Anthony, hi Andy. What is the orange line? The fast line? Oh no, are you talking about this one right here? This is just a markup that I'm using. Yeah, for the spies. Yeah, that's just a markup that I'm using. Let me go back to the spies. Probably still there. Yeah, we have what's called a markout. Like I want to show the range on this level right here. I go to markup and then go horizontal line, and that's all that is. And that's just all I'm drawing there was previously was the all-time high where it was and how we broke through. Okay, all right, he's got it. All right, so that's it for the market recap. You know, it's exciting if you're bullish that we finally kind of got above that level. Not very far above it is kind of disconcerting. Having a hard time moving higher, even though we been through it for 4 days now. But at the same time, we are not, you know, going through and coming back real quick like we did over here and like we did over here. So let's see if these bottoming tails, if you will hold. Okay, tomorrow might be the cue. If not, tomorrow is Friday, so we may have to wait till Monday, but we'll see what happens. All right, now I'm trying to remember next on the list is Holly. Hold on just a minute here. Let me get me a drink of water. This is where I usually pass the baton to Jamie and I get a little break. All right, so these are all the trades from our Holly AI today. Okay, notice some new faces in here today, or new ears and eyes. You know what this is? It's what we call our AI, our artificial intelligence. She is equipped with about 40 strategies. She takes those strategies each night and she will back test them and optimize them through thousands of different scenarios, and then they will have to make a certain winning percentage and profit factor each strategy to make the cut. Well, for all three of these segments, and guys, bear with me, I promise you this is in line here soon to get this back to just one Holly. This was something we were going to do with 3 Hollies anyway. I'm not going to tell you the reason why, but anyway, it just ended up being more confusing to people, and we're going to take it back to just one Holly. This is why we have duplicate trades in here, okay? That's going to be all fixed soon, so don't worry about it. But anyway, so what happens is you have these strategies that make the cut, and then Holly fires off trades. Okay. Uh, can you guys hear me okay? Liz is saying that she lost me. Okay. Looks like they can. Okay, great. Appreciate it, guys. So anyway, here are the trades, or here are the alerts that Holly, and I'm not using any filtering in this one. I don't have it on profit or profitable trades. These are all the trades, and throughout the day. And you can see here, there was kind of a mixed bag. We had a few shorts, mostly longs. Looks like about a 3-to-1 long to short ratio. And we had some profitable trades, and we had a few non-profitable trades. But this is why we call it tending the garden, is what Steve mentioned on Tuesday. Okay, this is why you cut your losers, okay, and look at some of these winners and how they run. And guys, I really want to point out this BBIO because it was beautiful from the start today. And I want you to focus on one thing. Well, first of all, I want you to hear what's going through my mind when I see this. Okay, Apache came out today from the quarterback. Okay, I'm looking at this daily here. Okay, and I'm going, gosh, I know what Holly is set up. You know, even though we create a lot of the base alerts on daily chart patterns, a lot of it is, you know, more just statistics. Okay, Holly will take this, you know, our base strategies, and she'll run it through a bunch of different filters, and next thing you know, for Holly, it's just a bunch of statistics. So I can see what was possibly happening here. You had some nice volume coming in. Okay, you had it hitting highs, going red to green. There's a lot of things that was happening here when it hit highs, but I looked over here at this daily, and I'm going, okay, I see what's going on here. I would really love it for at least to get through yesterday's high, and it didn't. Got close, but I don't think it did. And then you had a couple of wicks down here. You had the 10-period moving average to deal with. And this is why I'm saying, and at the time, the market was going down. Okay, that's probably the key element. The market is, take a look at the SPYs real quick. Okay, the market is going down. I'm trying to think, 1047, so maybe it was bouncing a little bit by that time, or no? Well, regardless, the market wasn't, it was trending down pretty much all day until the very last move. So the market was going down. It was down on the day. And so this is why I say, guys, it's man and machine. Okay, so I want you to take a look at that trade. And I could pull up a few others too. And now I want you to take a look at this BBIO trade on a pullback. Okay, here was the signal right here. Holly, pullback alert at 20.95. Now look what's happening over here versus the chart you just looked at, APA. Now, I understand that APA could have gone, and if it did, then, you know, great trade. But just looking at what you had to work with, if I'm a man and I'm looking at what a machine is given to me, okay, once again, I'm using my trader's common sense, my ability to read charts, to see that there's a lot going on right here that would prevent me from taking a trade like this. And like I said, had the market turned and ripped up and oil did the same, this thing, or energy stocks, this thing could have happened. But this is a case where I would probably at least wait for it to get to the 10-period, okay, 10-period moving average. Now, going back to BBIO, just the opposite. There's so much beautiful stuff here. Now, one could argue that, well, you know, look at the longer term, you know, it's kind of in a downtrend, and you're right, okay? But you also have to look at the intermediate term, maybe the last month. Okay, we nice signal right there on a pullback of 20.95. Look what's happening over here. It's clearing these levels right here, and you don't have any resistance until this level right here, which is, what's that, 70 cents, 71, 72 cents away. Math's not very good, but it's like 71 cents away. But regardless, you can see right there, it went well up over $1 in that trade. And this is one where you may even say, wow, you know, if it gets to this level, this is a potential turnaround candidate. Your next stop is possibly right here. So these are the things that probably should be going through your mind. Okay, this is why I tell people always look at the daily. Even if I'm trading intraday, I want to know what's going on in the daily chart, because that's going to tell you much more about where a stock may potentially go than the intraday. I mean, intradays are okay for entry, but if I'm looking at, you know, as far as like taking entry, like on this pullback, like Holly did, she was patient, waited for a pullback, got it. You might not, it was a quick wick down. Maybe you had to pay up another 3 cents or whatever. I don't know. But regardless, even if you had to pay up 10 cents, it was well worth it. And I know that wouldn't have been the case. But nonetheless, this is the kind of trade, guys, you don't just sit around and find on your own. I mean, you can if you're trading volume. I understand. You can, you know, find a watch list that has all the volume. But usually those things can be very nasty. This was just a nice, smooth ride up from the entry, you know, no pain at all. And then it tested the fast line right there. Probably would have to get out there if you're a day trader riding this thing all day. But nonetheless, you know, this is where the value of Holly comes out. And I've seen a lot of these lately in Mighty Mouse. Let's see, the other one today was a here's, speaking of Mighty Mouse, CEPU. Look at this signal. Okay, 2.96. You see it up here at, you know, what, 320. You're thinking, well, that's only a 24-cent move. But gosh, look at the percentage. Okay, Mighty Mouse, you know, risk off percentage, even where Holly got out at, she got out at 306, and that was still a 3.38 percentage. But look at the risk on. You're talking about almost a 9% move. You know, it's hard to find those kind of moves in Apple and Facebook and things like this, but this is where the value of this AI really comes into play, really justifies. Okay, and look at this chart once again. What's happening here? Well, I can draw a line right here. When you got the signal, what do we see? Very similar to what we saw over there. You're breaking out of a range, even though it's like a 10-day range, but look at your next level is not to up here. So you basically got about 4% move before you even go into the next level. And then it just got right through that. Now you're possibly looking up here. We'll see what happens tomorrow, but could be some continuation up into the 340 area. All right. Marguerite says the risk on profits look higher than risk off profits. Is that? It depends. It depends. Very good question, Marguerite. It's because of these great trades like BVIO. Okay, and this is why we say Holly got out for a timed exit. Remember, she's optimized based on time. Okay, so this is where you take over the reins. As a matter of fact, you can see where the lighter shade of green turns, I'm sorry, the darker shade turns light. That's where she exit. Boy, I see no reason why to get out of that trade. Holly is on timed exit. So if you would have held on and risk on, you would have made 800. This is based upon my allotment of 500 shares. But yeah, Marguerite, you're going to find days where the market's real choppy. I mean, really today I was surprised how well she performed in risk off, because really the market was kind of did nothing. All right, slopped around, kind of moved down and slopped around. So especially to the long side, but there was some really good trades today. Here's a short that actually gave a little bit of extra to the downside if you held on to it. I just really wanted to highlight those two, because that's the kind of stuff you look for. Look at the daily, what's happening there, you know, and when they break through those lows and they're doing decent volume. I think both of these at the time, we're not doing great volume, but you know, 1.73 and this BVIL, it's not bad, especially since it's nowhere near earnings. That makes you think something's going on. But anyway, yeah, guys, I think a lot of people miss the big picture, and I want to, when it comes to Holly, and look for some of those trades, look at those daily charts and see what's going on, because you can really find some really good ones on it. All right, that's enough of that. Let's move on, and bear with me while I bring my chart back to my normal screen here. You move over a little bit. There we go. All right. I wanted to talk today more about this alert, because I am seeing some really good ones come through. And I shared it with you the other day. It is called Random Acts of Violence. And let me make sure, let me put this back. I'm not sure what history I'm on. I'm going to put it back on real time. Let me just go. We're going to take a look at it today. Okay, because we did have a little bit of action today. Okay, this is probably where you can get a lot coming through when you have a market that sells off in the first couple of hours. Okay, that's kind of what you want to look for. Probably would have been better if we had a bigger bounce, but let's see what kind of opportunity was in here today. And once again, I have this filter in here that allows me to not show real quick for some of you guys who are in here for the first time. Let me show you the configuration. All right, the stock's looking for a new low. Okay, you can see there the price has to be over $5. This right here, this EPS, that's just a hack we use to filter out all the ETFs. Earnings date. I don't want stocks who had earnings. No, yes, this is how I do it to factor out or to eliminate stocks who have earnings coming out tomorrow, or had earnings today. That's what it is. Had earnings after the close yesterday or this morning. That's what it does. It's kind of wonky when you see the negative in max and the positive, but that's exactly what it's doing. Okay, it's eliminating stocks that had it this morning or that had it yesterday morning, because I want to avoid, stocks that are getting hit even though they have a high score on earnings. I don't want to avoid those. And this is another thing I use: relative volume, a ratio of smaller than 2, because if stocks are getting hit on big news, they're probably going to trade more than that ratio. And here's the key. It has to have a composite rating of 70% or more. Okay, so I shouldn't say fundamentally, I should say technically and somewhat fundamentally, it should be a pretty sound looking chart and company. So I shouldn't say company, just for the time being. Okay, the few fundamentals we use and the technicals are all looking pretty decent. All right, so let's go back to the morning, and I always like to avoid the early. Well, I didn't have any early stuff today. It didn't even, oh, it's more available. So wow, we had a lot of stuff coming through here today. So when I have more available, I have to go to history and click on more. Okay, this will take us to early this morning, and there we go. We got the ones from this morning. I like to avoid any sort of, whiplash in the first 15 or 20 minutes. Let's slide up to about 850. And we'll start here at 849 and see if we see anything. So, oh yeah, and the other filter I just wanted to show you guys is the stock has to be down, okay, 2.5%. Let me show you real quick. Change from the close, negative 2.5 max. If I click the show me button, the price was down at least 2.5 from the previous close. Okay, so these are stocks with a pretty good score, okay, that are getting hit. This one right here, that really didn't do anything. No bounce there. That doesn't mean, it might not tomorrow, but as far as the day goes, no bounce to the ounce. Let's see what MU did here. Very nice one there. Semiconductor, look at this. 2 days of sell-off, and they tried to drive it down today, and you got the signal right here at 66 cents. Okay, did You know, by the time you got it and by the time you pulled it up, it was probably at 50 cents. So it gave you an opportunity there to definitely take part in that if you wanted to. Love it. A lot of good things here. Like I was showing you with the other charts, what do we have going here? Okay, we have support right here. Kind of stuff you might want to look for. You have your 10 period moving average here. You have your 50 here. Lot of good things happening right here. Okay, you got a gift. You got a gift. These people who copped it up back here, all of a sudden they just gave it to you. See what AMAT did. Another good one, it took a while. I mean, you had a little bounce here, and then like the market, it kind of got squirrely for a little bit, but still, alert came at 53.82. Last print was 54.26, so not bad. So you did get a bounce there in AMAT. I haven't even looked at these guys. So there could be, that one really didn't do anything. See what document did here. Well, I'll get some water. Ooh, pretty one there. Look at this. $65.07 right here, almost dead low, then immediate bounce up $1.50. Well, that's pretty. Okay, hold on and see. On the AGRX, Holly lost 5%. Does it? I'll come back to this. Yeah, I'll come back to that in just a minute, Anthony. Stamp really didn't do anything. Kind of in no man's land, really, though. There's no really technical moving average here, no support like you saw in that MU. Okay, this would be more of a gamble if you took it versus what we saw in MU. Have I pulled up ATH yet? I don't know. Eventually got one. Hey, here you go. You see this coming in. When you first see it coming in, look over here in the chart. Once again, very much like that MU. Look what it did. Went down, touched the 10 period moving average. Guys, this is, you know, these are the kind of stocks, you know, people don't realize, you know, I know people want to try to compare us to some of the competition. I'm not going to mention names, some of the competition out there who are very good at scanning. But when it comes to real-time alerts, when you can create alerts like this where you can be alerted in real time, you know, if you're trying to create a scan that's going to find that data point right there, by the time you get it it's going to be gone. Okay, that's what's great about trade ideas. Real-time alerts can give you, you know, the action in real time. All right, let's get a few more. I already checked out those. Roku, what did it do? I think it bounced. Look at there. Now this one came out 145. Yeah, that would have been tough for me. You know, you have a data point right here, but I'd rather it be closer to these moving averages. Okay, you could eventually got that one, but VC, there's a pretty nice one. Okay, once again, you saw the alert. Look what it did. Barely took out yesterday's low and tagged the 10 period moving average. See how many of these guys we've seen so far that just bounced right off that 10 period moving average? There's one bouncing off the 20 eventually, but you got the alert kind of quick. You probably got this alert a lot. But anyway, guys, I'm going to move on to the next topic, and I'm going to share this again. And the reason I bring it up, guys, is because I'm finding some really good opportunity in there, okay? And that's what it's all about. And these don't have to be just day trades, okay? These can be great because they have a high composite score. 70, low 70s is not bad once the stock is sold off 2.5% on the morning, okay? That means it probably started the day around 78 or 79, maybe even 80. That's not a bad score. It really isn't. So let me share this with you. And for those that don't have it, I'm going to drop it into the chat window. And I'm just going to put random. Yeah, anytime I come back to these alerts 2 or 3 times and show them to you guys, it's not because I'm being lazy. It's because I want you to pay attention to them, okay? Because there's some opportunity to be had. This is a market, it seems like lately, that you really got to play contrarian sometimes. Why do you call it composite rating? It's kind of what it's referred to as in the industry. It's a composite of many data points, okay? So we probably have, I think, total of around 17 data points in there. Most of them technical, but we do have some, about 4 or 5 good fundamental data points. Are the AI strategies available in the premium? Yes, Julio, you're correct. The AI strategies are available in premium only. And you guys ask questions. Really, we call this an interactive a webinar, and I'm glad you guys are asking a lot of questions. Jeff says tough to take MU with WDC getting crushed. Yeah, I think they're a little bit different though, Jeff. But I hear what you're saying. Kind of the same, kind of the same sector there. But isn't WDC, isn't it more kind of I'll take a look later. We'll circle back around. I got some more questions coming in. But I hear you. Yeah, different varieties. Correct. Is there a setting that will prevent so many alerts on the same name? Yeah, it's called Randy, don't repeat, and you can use that. Let me cancel this, and you go to properties, okay, and you put in don't repeat. And the reason mine is grayed out is because I'm in history mode. If I wasn't in history mode, let me put it back on real time, and you can come in here and you can put don't repeat, and then you can select don't repeat for 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and that works. Now what happens, what you have to understand is when you do go into history, it's going to show you all of them. It's going to ignore the don't repeat function. Yeah, that's what I thought, Mike. I thought WDC was more hard drives, and MU is NAND memory for electronic devices. Yes, George, very good question. George says, so the composite rating is not the same as the composite rating in Investor Business Daily. No, the beautiful thing about ours is it adjusts in real time, okay? So in other words, a great example was Facebook over here. And I had a spreadsheet. Okay, so Facebook right over here, on this day where it had bad earnings and gap down, our composite rating on this overnight went from 100 to like in the 50s. And I checked IBs for several days and theirs remained the same. They had a very high rating on it. It remained the same. Ours alerted you during that point, okay, and you can see what happened thereafter. This thing went lower and lower and lower. Ours alerted you like this was technically broken. Maybe the fundamentals were still okay, but it was technically broken. So we immediately, and ours adjust during the day too as well, okay? And it has to do with position and ranges. It has to do with moving averages. So if they break like a 50-day moving average during the day, it'll adjust in real time, which IBs don't do that. They used to adjust like weekly. I think they may do it more frequently now, but it's not real time like ours is. All right, some very good questions coming out today. Randy says, yes, it is. Our composite rating is dynamic. That's a good adjective there, Randy. All right, looks like we are caught up on the questions. And the last topic was for today, I believe, was paper trader. All right, real quickly, guys, once you download, okay, our new beta, which I'm sure probably most of you in here have downloaded. Um, all you have to do is go to new and just launch the Brokerage Plus. Okay, this is going to have your paper trader. If you go into the connected, it should be connected right when you download it. If it's not, just go to paper trading, okay, and just click on connect. If it's disconnected, it's going to say, connect. So, and then you just click, make sure you have that green bar, and you're ready to go. And it's working seamless right now. A lot of great things you can do. I'll show you some stuff I've been in for a while, just in paper trading mode. You can see here my bounce below 50 SMA short. I've gone over this several times in here. This has selected some really good winners. You can see there I got about 5 of them in here that are all paying me. I put this into action about 3 days ago. Well, let's take a look. Let's take a look at AAWW. And you can see right here is where it's signaled, okay, for the short. And I think I got lucky on this one though. It was an earnings play. I probably wouldn't have held it. I still would have made some decent money, but I probably wouldn't have held it in the earnings. But nonetheless, you can see. And what's great about this? Let's say tomorrow it says right time stop in 15 hours. Okay, so this is going to get out at the bell in the morning. Okay, it's letting me know when it's going to get out. So tomorrow morning when the market opens, I'll see all 5 of these execute immediately. Okay, these are strategies that I built over here. You can do the same. I will share you mine. Just ask for them, and it'll give you some really, really great ideas. Yes, Anthony, the trade of the week was Nike, and right now I think it's down a little bit. It was right here at the 50-period moving average. It's pretty much flat. I think it was right here at this 50-day moving average. So pretty much flat right now, not doing anything. All right. It looks pretty good to me. I mean, if I wasn't in it now, what I would like to do, I would probably watch, see what happens tomorrow. Market gaps down. If retail is getting beat up and it slams down, it may. The only thing I worried about, okay, is when I see, we played it off this gap fill right here, we called it, but anytime I see a gap, I like to go back to the day where it gapped. So it may want to come down here and test this gap. So this is one I'd watch closely. If I wasn't in it, I'd probably buy it above, today's high, but I still would be wary of this potential gap right here. And some people like to use whatever the closing price was, so we could go there. So, and we may stop here. You also have a gap here that was filled. Sometimes that's good enough, sometimes it's not. Sometimes they like to go ahead and take, and I would say this, more times than not, it seems to me, they like the gap from the day it gapped. All right, so the paper trader, guys. So let's just take a look. Let's say this is going to stop out in the morning, but let's say I was still in this for another couple of days, and I had some nice profits on 121 shares, and I wanted to make sure I kept those profits. I can just take my stop, move it down here, and say right here, boom, and it just adjusted. Yeah, I think. Where's my stop price? Do I not have a stop price in there? Let me see. Thought I had a stop price in there. Maybe I didn't save it. No, I didn't. I forgot to save it. There it is. Never mind. Stop price. Okay. So it just adjusted to 23 right there, 23.85, right where I put it. That is so cool, guys. And not only that, you can trade from the chart. Okay. I can trade, let's say, I'm looking at Facebook and I want to trade it. I just right click, trade Facebook, and I can use buy 100 shares. I can use my strategies. I could buy using my pullback, the strategies. It will use the same parameters I have set up. Is there a way to filter out those shares which gap too frequently or too much? Yes, you can limit. You can use gap limit. So let me just show you. You can just go into any configuration window, okay, and just type in the word gap. And what you want to use is gap percentage, add filter, and let's say you don't want a stock that's gapping up more than 5%, just max it out at 5%, Raj. That's all you got to do. You can limit the gap. All right. So running out of time here. Let me get another. My throat's running out of time anyway. But anyway, guys, you're going to find this. Oh, and Steve made a really good video, about a 7 or 8 minute video. Okay, you can find it on our YouTube page now. Just go to videos, type in paper trader, paper trading. Okay, any kind of keyword in the search, and you'll find it. But anyway, it's a great little video that will take you through all the steps. If you can't find it on there, just come see us or write to info@trade-ideas.com, and we'll make sure we get that video to you. But we are going to be talking more about this because more and more people are especially coming in for the test drive. They're going to be using the paper trader. We're going to have a lot of people coming on just to use the paper trader because it's so cool. And it's going to help people keep them away from trading real money. All right, guys, let's see. Do you have any more questions? Okay, Sunil, I will, what you can do is you can use a new low. Let's just take the one I have here. I'm going to share this with you. Pull back above 50 SMA long, okay? And if you look at my configuration, you're going to see I have changed from 50-day SMA 0.01. Only thing I'm concerned about in my window that I built here is the price is above its 50-day moving average. If you wanted it close to the 50-day moving average, all you got to do is bracket. You could come in here and you could put 0.05. Okay, now you know the price has to be in between these two data points, 0.01% and 0.05%. So that's all you have to do to this one. Now you're going to get a lot few alerts because, you know, making sure it's pinpointed right at that level, but that will work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this one with you, and you can make that adjustment if you want to. Actually, on this one, you better use like 1%, but this is one that I built that's already reversing after coming down and kind of testing, I should say testing that area, but it's pulled back and it's moving higher now. So be careful with that, but let me share it with you anyway. Pull back above 50 SMA long swing. Okay, I'm putting it in the chat window there for you. You're welcome. No, Randy, did somebody say I was doing the chat room tomorrow? You're thinking of Barry. Barry does the chat room. And yeah, I don't know why he wouldn't. Unless he's on vacation. If he would have told you guys, but I didn't hear anything. Jeff said he's there. He's there. Oh, the support room, Randy? Yeah, you can come in the support room. We'll be there. Yeah, we're doing the yes, we are doing the Friday support session. Yeah, no holiday tomorrow. Halloween doesn't get a holiday. All right, guys. Let's see. Wouldn't adding a 0.5 increase the number of scans? Yes, yes. That's what I'm saying. If you come in there and you try to bracket, there's nothing wrong with that. As a matter of fact, on that, I'll take that. I thank you. I'm looking for something around that 10-period moving average, so I'm bracketing that area. I don't want to see anything unless it gets close. So you got to be real careful anytime you're bracketing a data point, because it's got to be inside that bracket. All right, guys, a lot of good questions today, but I'm going to bring in Scott, and he is going to walk us out. And you guys hold on. There's a really good coupon out right now. I think Scott will share with you.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, a couple things. We have our test drive for the fall coming up. It's a little different this time. It's going to be for the duration of 2 weeks from the 11th to the 22nd. So if you're interested in trying out all the premium features, including the simulated trading, paper trading, try out Holly. You can also paper trade using Holly and automate your paper trading, see how that goes. All the features, including the back testing and all of the premium stuff, the RBI, GBI windows. Get it. It's trade-ideas.com/test drive. So under $9. And if you get in on the scheduled start on the 11th, you get 2 full weeks. Going to have some special webinars, and of course the trading room will be prepped for that, and it's going to be a good one. So check out all the new stuff we've been adding. We've got a good series of ebooks out that Andy contributed some chapters to, so get them. Trade-ideas.com/setup is the place to go to download the ebooks. Just go ahead and put in your email address, get them sent to you, and there's 2 chapters per book. They include some cloud links and very helpful stuff to keep on your desktop. We got a podcast. We might have a new episode out tomorrow. Who knows? Usually they come out on Fridays. So find out by subscribing. Search for Trade Ideas Podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts. Add us as a subscription and get surprised when the next one comes out. There's a discount code for you, fall into savings, all caps as you see it on your screen. Say 15% off the start of any subscription. Also usable for an upgrade from standard to premium. So if you're a standard member and want premium, just go to your account management section from the homepage and click on upgrade or change subscription. You can follow Jamie on Twitter at QuantBot. We've also got @TodayTrader, @TradeIdeas. Facebook.com/TradeIdeasPro is the Facebook page to like and share stuff with your friends. Any questions, shoot it to info@trade-ideas.com. It goes into our help desk software and gets routed to the best team member to answer your question. Thanks, everyone. We're going to have the recording up later on tonight or tomorrow. And thank you, Andy.
All right. Thanks, Scott. Thanks, everybody. We'll see some of you tomorrow in the trading sports session.